Welcome back to Next Gen Investing. It's now time to discuss the latest move with Broadcom, as we are seeing a really nice rally to supplement, the everything rally we're pretty much seeing in markets today. But joining us is, of course, Marley Kayden, host for the Schwab Network. And so, Marley, walk us through the story of Broadcom here, as we are seeing OpenAI be a huge component of this surge today, which was also the biggest catalyst to AMD's really stellar week last week.
OpenAI makes headlines and makes moves, even though they're a privately traded company. The move for Broadcom today, they've been up pretty consistently, about 10% since the news hit. The companies have been working together for 18 months, but they're finally confirming and going public with their plans. Those plans are to jointly build and deploy 10 gigawatts of custom AI accelerators as a part of a broader effort across the industry to scale this AI infrastructure. They did not disclose the financial terms of this deal, but they are expecting to start deploying those chips starting late next year. Now, these accelerators are specialized chips that are designed to handle the massive computing demands of advanced AI systems. Under this current agreement, OpenAI designed the accelerators while Broadcom handled the development and the manufacturing of them. That rollout set to start in the second half of next year and be finished by 2029. So a pretty tight timeline on this one. The system will include networking, memory, and compute, all customized for OpenAI's workloads and built on Broadcom's Ethernet stack. So with OpenAI designing its own chips, they're saying it can bring those costs down and then stretch its infrastructure dollars further, which has been an ongoing conversation about this sort of sustainability of these data center buildouts. But Broadcom, this deal is a landmark deal for them. They've been a big beneficiary already of this AI boom, but this is a big one. Sam Altman saying that it provides a gigantic amount of computing infrastructure to serve the needs of the world to use advanced intelligence. And the CEO of Broadcom, Sam Hock-Tan, says that a pivotal moment in the pursuit of artificial intelligence. So an impressive deal here. Obviously, the market likes it, but should also be a really substantial revenue stream for Broadcom as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening at once with these situations where it's like these companies already work together. Yes, this is a newer project, but you just talked about how the goal is to be able to do this with more efficient, cheaper options. Like, at some point, you're cannibalizing your own sales. And I don't know if that means Broadcom is stealing market share or whatever, but it's like eventually all of these stories can't be good news, because just because they're doing 10 gigawatts, that doesn't mean that all of that existing revenue is still going to be there. So as long as it is, hey, ride the wave, and that's what the market's doing.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. I was trying to get some numbers because we talk about, these data centers and these gigawatts and all these things, and we have no perspective of how big that is, especially when they aren't disclosing a lot of the financial terms of these deals. But industry estimates peg the cost of a 1 gigawatt data center, so not 10 like this deal, but just a single gigawatt, at about $50 billion, with about $35 billion of that allocated to just the chips. Now, that was based on the pricing of NVIDIA chips, because that's the most commonly used chip right now. But very interesting to look at numbers that large. We're looking at that's $500 billion to deploy this 10 gigawatts.
That is also, it's ridiculous right now, and I think it's one of the reasons that the CapEx and some of the paper trails of truly the financials of these companies is amazing, because to your point, we don't have a full scope of it, being that OpenAI, not a fully publicly traded company, they don't have to disclose. But I will be so curious to follow just the mass money that's pouring into, this is a huge amount of energy capacity, don't get me wrong, but it is a huge amount of money as well.
It certainly is, and we're seeing, Broadcom has been a major beneficiary in this hyperscaler build out, but also has been extremely volatile because of that. I was trying to track through some of the movements, and just in the last year, they've had 25 moves of greater than 5% in one direction. So, while a strong performer year to date up more than 50%, that is a lot of volatile movement, most of them driven by headlines.